Hi, welcome to We Are Cosmic Nature, the podcast. My name is Kelsey. Today I'm sharing with you some astrological insight and wisdom on the new moon happening in the sign of Taurus. This is on May 19th, and there is a lot of energy in this chart as I take a peek here. And new moons, we're out of eclipse season. Okay, so we just had two eclipses. The next lunation kind of closes that eclipse portal, but new moons, and especially a new moon in Taurus, is like, it's a new beginning. You may have heard me say that. New moon, new beginning. Makes sense, right? We're planting seeds and we're in this nourishing, grounding sign of Taurus right now. So the sun and the moon are coming together in the sign of Taurus. And interestingly, where they're meeting in the sky is at what's called the Pleiades portal. So the star cluster, the Pleiades, sits between 28 degrees Taurus and 0 degrees Gemini. And this new moon is at 28, 25 degrees of Taurus, okay? And when the sun and the moon come together at this Pleiades cluster, as they cross over, we're receiving more guidance, and I shouldn't say we're receiving more guidance because we're always receiving guidance, but you might be receiving clear insight or messages from that energy of the Pleiades. So the Pleiades are this wonderful galaxy that have, these wonderful beings, really. You wouldn't say they're human beings, but there's life. There's life everywhere in this universe, but there's this connection with the Pleiades cluster and their support and love of Earth. So they will deliver messages. And for you, you might receive messages differently, but they're very communicative. A lot of channelers will receive messages directly from the Pleiades and share that with their audience or their clients, whatever it is. But you can receive messages too. So this is a really heightened time of intuition. And I love that for a new moon, because if there is maybe a new path or a new outlook or a new project, a new something in your life that is ready to be planted, I think you'll receive some extra guidance about what direction you want to move at this time. And in addition to that, this beautiful new moon happening is there's a lot of energy happening with the other planets and their relationship to each other on this day. So Pluto, sitting at 0 degrees of Aquarius, currently retrograde, but still in Aquarius, is opposite Mars at the final degrees of Cancer. So it's not an 100% direct opposition, but it is very close. And Pluto opposite Mars, where Pluto is, it's like, what actions do you need to take to make the changes to pave this new path? Like, what actions are going to help you to manifest or come to fruition of this new whatever it is? And it doesn't have to be something big, like your new path or your new outlook or your new intention. That's why there's in new moon ceremonies, like you might set intentions and journal with yourself. And I think when it comes to setting an intention as well, is we write it in our journal, but then sometimes we don't actually take any action or remind ourselves of that. So you could, to really like solidify this, even put a post-it note on your fridge or your mirror or your computer, wherever you frequently look in your home or in your day-to-day, in your car, whatever it is, to remind yourself of that intention, because I think that's going to help you to really, solidify this new path that you're on. The other interesting thing is Pluto is squaring Jupiter, the North Node, and Mercury in Taurus. So I think maybe some of us are stubbornly holding on to the past, stubbornly sitting in those old psychological patterns, and maybe even unknowingly, maybe it's unconscious. Maybe we don't even realize that we're still doing that thing that is keeping us in the same place. So there's that to be aware of. So, I think having that self-awareness or self-inquiry, curiosity, trying to find that observer mind when it comes to yourself, and giving yourself grace and compassion, because we don't want to criticize ourselves. That's not a helpful habit either. But just being aware of where you may be holding on to something. And part of this too is, let's reflect on our life and the growth we've experienced since November 2021, because that's when the North Node moved into Taurus. So it's at 2 degrees of Taurus. So we're moving on into a new chapter of growth, and as a collective, but it does affect all of us individually as well. So it's helpful for you if you know what house Taurus rules, or often the North Node will move through a couple houses. So what areas of your life were experiencing growth and expansion as the North Node moved through Taurus? Because every house is an area of your life. There's 12 houses. So it'll be helpful to reflect on how you've grown in that area since November 2021, and maybe use this new moon as that final push to really make sure that you stay on this new path in that specific area of your life. And then finally, we have Saturn sextiling Mercury. So Saturn's actually helping us out here, and I think helping us to make this plan. As I mentioned, it's important to solidify this, like not just journal about it or think about it, but actually solidify it and make a plan. And I think Saturn's going to help us, meaning Saturn might provide clarity, and it might provide clarity as to how to overcome obstacles, and specifically like obstacles in the mind, and obstacles, tangible, like physical things that you might have to overcome. But leaning into the Saturn and Pisces energy, which is really connecting to your soul, connecting to your guidance, connecting to your intuition. So like the topic of meditation will be really helpful for you to receive that clarity. And that is so much easier said than done at the time of this recording. I'm really trying my best to commit to like actually quieting my mind and actually, getting into that observer seat and witnessing thoughts as they come in. And it's not easy, but that consistency teaching that Saturn can provide for us, if you can stay consistent, I know that the benefits are there for all of us to receive when we really listen to our intuition. So I always pull a tarot card to solidify this message, and I got the King of Pentacles reversed. Literally make a plan, like get down to the details, make a plan, commit to it. And and then I think that this intention can really come to fruition as long as we consistently, find that coherence with ourselves, alignment with ourselves, and then also giving ourselves space and reminding that this isn't to be hard on yourself if you haven't achieved a certain thing or created a certain thing. It's about, being your own cheerleader. And if you have self-critical thoughts, think about where that comes from and why you learned that pattern. And often it's from, parents or teachers, adults in our life, society, and be your own self-advocate and give yourself the message that you needed to hear. Because if we're feeling insecure about something, or like not believing in yourself, or that you're not worth it, what did you need to hear when you were younger, when you had those feelings? And affirm those thoughts for yourself. And I believe that we can all achieve anything as long as we, just stay the course and love ourselves through all of it. So I hope that's helpful for you. Happy new moon. Please share this message with someone who you think would benefit, and feel free to share on social media and tag me at kelseyh.ammon, or send me a message if you had some insights around this time when you listen to this. And ultimately, sending you so much love. Thank you for listening and for being here.